I've been watching a lot of Abroad in Japan's videos, and you kind of start to see a pattern. It's always the same. He does a little intro, and then he has his 70s music. He might do some kind of activity like jogging or riding a bike, and then he'll always have sushi. Nearly every time he'll go to some fancy sushi place or some wagyu. It's either wagyu beef or sushi or fugu. Every single time he goes to some fancy restaurant that most normal people wouldn't be able to afford to eat at. And then he'll start raving about the wagyu and how it melts in his mouth. Most people don't eat A1 wagyu that costs $200 for a meal. Or he goes to some fancy sushi place with that Japanese man. And then he starts reading some Wikipedia article about a mountain. This mountain was built in 1255 and it got burnt down. I don't see why people love his videos so much. They're nothing special. Yeah, he's using a fancy camera, so everything looks pretty. But the core of the video is always the same. He goes to some place, teaches you about it, about its history a little bit, and then he shows you some fancy area, and then he'll go and eat wagyu or sushi with that Japanese man. And then people suck up to him like he's some kind of Quentin Tarantino of YouTube. It's just, I don't see anything special about his videos. They're not that amazing. My videos are way better. And his whole journey across Japan trip thing's very confusing because his video before the last one, he was in Tokyo. 10 things to do around Tokyo Station, and then his next one, he's in the other end of the country in Kagoshima. How did he go from Tokyo all the way to Kagoshima during his trip? Did he go to Tokyo and then come back from Tokyo? He's flying all over the country all the time. He flies all over Japan to do the same thing over and over, eating sushi and eating wagyu beef. I just don't think it's anything to rave about. It's just strange because he's supposed to be doing this trip, a journey across Japan, as a series, and then he'll be in Osaka, and then he'll instantly be back in Tokyo doing some random video around the train station, and then he'll be back at Kagoshima or Kobe. It just takes away the illusion that he's on some kind of trip. I'm not saying I don't like his videos. I think his videos are good. They're just not that good. They're not as good as everyone makes them out to be. They're okay. But you start to notice a pattern, and then he always eats sushi or wagyu. I wonder if he'll ever run out of places to go to make videos about. When he goes to everywhere in Japan, and he has nowhere left to go, what's he going to do for content? There's only so many things you can make about Japan. There's the ramen, sushi, the wagyu, weird festivals, Mount Fuji, bullet trains, love hotels. There's not that many weird things. It's just not fair. Because I do the same things he's doing. I don't get 500,000 views every time. Just because my camera's not as good as his. I go to interesting places as well. I just get 20k views. I don't get 100k. How am I different to Chris? I know way more about Japan than Chris does. My Japanese is way better than Chris's. I've had sex with way more Japanese girls than Chris probably has. And everyone turns to Chris as if he's the Japan expert all of a sudden. I've been into Japan way longer than Chris has. Chris is just some random guy who moved here and then just stumbled upon YouTube. Japan's mine. Japan was built for me, not Chris. People like Chris, they could live anywhere in the world because he's a normal person. People like me, we deserve a special place in Japan because we don't fit in our own countries. Chris can fit in England, he'll be fine. And then Chris just comes along, steals my thunder. Now I can't even say I'm the biggest British YouTuber in Japan. I can't even say I'm the biggest YouTuber from Sutton Valence Primary School now. I'm always second best. I guess you could say PDR-san is the second biggest English YouTuber, but I don't think of him as English because he was born in Japan and he makes content in Japanese, so I don't see him as a British YouTuber, I see him as a Japanese YouTuber. So I am the second biggest British YouTuber in Japan. And Chris is negative and complains about stuff all the time, but no one complains when Chris complains. When I complain, everyone tells me to shut up and to stop complaining. And they say I'm too negative. Chris complains all the time, but they think it's funny when he does it. When I do it, they just say it's annoying. Everyone sucks up to Chris like he's some big shot, and then they insult me, say my content's boring, say I'm a weirdo, say I'm a psycho, all this rubbish. Anyway, I have to go. You can have fun on the server, try not to blow it up. I'll be back on Minecraft maybe later in the evening. I need to buy some things and shoot some video for my second channel. So goodbye everyone. Last final note, Chris sucks, my channel's better.